December 14th, 2010, Bellagio Casino, 3:50 a.m. A man in a motorcycle helmet walks through the doors. This will be his biggest mistake. 1.5 million worth of chips on a craps table. In less than 1 minute, they're gone. The thief vanishes into the night on a motorcycle. But here's the twist. This man isn't some criminal mastermind. He's the son of a Las Vegas judge, and he'll return to this exact casino to gamble, to live, to celebrate like nothing ever happened. But how did this happen? Who is this man who robbed Vegas and moved in? Let's go back. 16 months earlier, August 2009. Anthony Carleo, 28 years old, moves to Las Vegas with a dream: medical school. He's from Pueblo, Colorado, 2 associate degrees, a real estate license. His father, George Assad, is a Las Vegas municipal court judge. Respected family. Anthony enrolls at UNLV. For a while, everything seems fine. He studies. He has a girlfriend. He's on track for his future. But Vegas has a way of changing people, and Anthony starts spending more time in casinos, more time at poker tables, less time studying. By late 2010, during a 2-week school break, Anthony has all the free time in the world, and he's losing badly. His bankroll disappears in days. $12,000 gone in high-stakes poker at the Bellagio. But it's not just gambling that's destroying him now. Cocaine, OxyContin, the addiction takes hold. His father notices, cuts his monthly allowance from $1,000 to $600. It's not enough anymore. Anthony's debts pile up, tens of thousands of dollars. His life is spiraling, and that's when a crazy idea enters his mind. What if he just took the money? What if he robbed a casino? He starts searching online. Tips for robbing someone, December 6th, 2010. A few days later, Anthony talks to a poker dealer at the Bellagio. Casual conversation about how easy it would be to rob this place. All you need is a black mask and a motorcycle, Anthony says. And I have a motorcycle. The dealer laughs. Nobody takes it seriously. December 8th, 2010, 12:35 a.m., Suncoast Casino, Northwest Las Vegas. Anthony decides to test his theory. A practice run. Full motorcycle gear, helmet covering his face, gun in hand. He walks into the poker room and demands cash. $18,945 stolen, under 1 minute. Security cameras capture everything, but Anthony is already gone, on his motorcycle, disappearing into the desert night. Nobody saw his face. The heist works too well. 5 days later, Anthony decides to go bigger, much bigger. The crown jewel of Las Vegas, the Bellagio. December 13th, 2010. Anthony is high on cocaine and OxyContin. His adrenaline is pumping. He parks his Suzuki motorcycle near the valet entrance. It's 3:50 a.m. The casino is quiet. Anthony backs the bike onto a service path, front tire pointing away for a quick escape. He's wearing dark coveralls, rubber gloves, white striped motorcycle helmet with visor down, a gun hidden in his front pocket, loaded, just for deterrence. A lone security guard sits in a booth outside, an elderly woman. Anthony somehow has the presence of mind to wave at her. He walks through the doors. The helmet hides his face completely. Nobody knows who he is. Nobody will recognize him. At least that's the plan. Anthony heads straight for the high-limit craps table, the only one open at this hour, his prey. He can see the chips from here: purple, yellow, red, white, and blue, and cranberry. Cranberry-colored $25,000 chips, millions of dollars worth arrayed before the dealer. This is it. Anthony pulls out his gun. His voice echoes through the casino. Move! Move! The stickman, the dealers, the players. They all lurch back. One man dives to the side like a movie stuntman. Someone yells, "He has a gun!" But Anthony is already grabbing handfuls of chips. He shovels them into a backpack worn backwards across his chest. $100 chips, $5,000 chips, and those beautiful cranberries, worth $25,000 each. His old knee injury makes running difficult. The extra layers under his coveralls feel like moving through water, but he's moving. The helmet that hid his face now blocks his peripheral vision. He can't see if someone's charging from the slot machines to tackle him. 200 yards back through the casino, his heart is pounding. Every step feels like an eternity, but nobody stops him. Not yet. Anthony reaches the heavy double doors. A valet attendant tries to block his path. Anthony waves the pistol. The man falls back immediately. Anthony jumps on his motorcycle, guns the engine, tears away down Flamingo Road into the desert night. He made it. He actually made it. Later, counting the chips in a safe location, Anthony realizes the magnitude. $1.5 million in casino chips. But here's the problem with stealing casino chips. They're not money. They're only worth something inside the casino that issued them. And casinos don't make it easy to cash large amounts, especially cranberries. $25,000 chips. They attract attention, questions. Anthony needs a plan, but first, he needs to celebrate, and he knows exactly where to go. Back to the Bellagio, the very next night, December 15th, 2010. Less than 24 hours after the robbery, Anthony walks into the Bellagio poker room. No helmet this time, just his face. I felt like a big swinging dick. Anthony later admits, I just robbed this place, and now I'm going to cash in everything I took. No wanted posters, no suspicious looks. None of the dealers or security guards treat him differently. They have no idea who he is. Anthony buys into a high-stakes poker game, using $100 bills from the Suncoast robbery. As the night goes on, he slips in stolen $5,000 chips. Nobody notices, nobody questions. The chips blend in perfectly. Anthony is winning. Or at least, he's not getting caught. Same thing in his mind. Over the next weeks, Anthony becomes a regular. He gambles constantly. Craps, poker, the same table he robbed. He wallows in the gossip about himself. It gave me a thrill, he says later, being the one person there who knew what's up. Maybe it was narcissistic, but I enjoyed it. The Bellagio loves him. He's gambling big, losing big. By December 31st, New Year's Eve, Anthony drops $72,000 in a single night. The casino thinks he's a legitimate high roller. They comp him a suite, free meals, free drinks, free rooms, all because he's gambling with stolen chips. Anthony even stays at the Bellagio for a week in late January, living like a king, barely leaving. The hotel he robbed is now his home, but there's still the problem of those cranberries, the $25,000 chips. Too big to cash without raising suspicion. Anthony has over $1 million worth. Of the $1.5 million stolen, Anthony can only use the smaller denominations. $400,000 in chips he can actually gamble with. The rest just sit there, and Anthony is burning through money fast. Cocaine, OxyContin, high-stakes gambling. By late January, he's down to his last $20,000 in usable cash. He stares at his safety deposit box. Once it held over $100,000 in laundered money, now almost empty. You're a fucking idiot, he tells himself. December 22nd, 2010. Anthony does something strange. He drops a $25,000 cranberry chip into a Salvation Army donation kettle on the Strip. The bell ringer later tries to cash it at the Bellagio. Security confiscates it immediately. Police question the worker. He describes an unknown man. Meanwhile, the Bellagio makes a critical decision. They discontinue all cranberry chips. New ones issued. Old ones must be redeemed by April 22nd. Anthony's $1 million stash just became worthless. After April, those chips will be nothing but colored plastic. The clock is ticking. January 16th, 2011. Anthony makes his biggest mistake. He goes online to 2plus2.com, a popular poker forum. There's a thread about the Bellagio heist. Poker players discussing how the robber might cash the chips. Theories, suggestions. Someone even mentions donating to charity. Anthony reads everything. And then Anthony creates an account. Username, Ocean Spray 25, from Ocean Spray Cranberries. And 25 for $25,000. Not exactly subtle. Anthony starts private messaging forum members, asking if they want to buy cranberries. $10,000 each for a $25,000 chip. 50% off. Great deal. One user, Provost Trout, Matthew Brooks in real life, is suspicious. He asks questions. Anthony sends photos. 2 cranberry chips on paper. The note in the photo reads, Biker Bandit. Cranberries are good for the liver. Signed and dated January 26, 2011. Anthony signed his own confession. Brooks asks him directly, Are you the Bellagio robber? Anthony's response, Yeah, that's me. I am that asshole. He admits everything over email. Brooks contacts the FBI, then Bellagio investigators, then Las Vegas Metro Police. The evidence is overwhelming. They have him, almost. Meanwhile, Anthony returns to his hometown of Pueblo, Colorado for Christmas. He's buying drinks for everyone, showing off money, acting like a big shot. He told us he won $80,000 gambling in Vegas. His friends say later, he had a lot of money on him. We thought he was lucky. But back in Vegas, a poker dealer named Leo is also getting suspicious. That conversation before the heist, about robbing the casino with a motorcycle. Leo watches Anthony at the tables, buying in with chips, not cash, playing games he can't afford. Leo talks to other dealers, to cashiers, confirming suspicions. Leo contacts Detective Sam Smith of Las Vegas Metro Police. "I know who robbed the Bellagio," he says. The investigation suddenly has a name. January 25th, 2011. An undercover officer goes to the Bellagio. He finds someone who bought a cranberry from Anthony for $10,000 cash. The net is closing. January 28th, 2011. The undercover operation begins. Officer Michael Gennaro meets Anthony at the Venetian. Anthony shows him one cranberry chip, proof he has them. January 30th, 2011. They meet again, this time at the Bellagio, the scene of the crime. Anthony sells Gennaro one $25,000 chip for $7,000 cash. February 1st, 2011. Another meeting. Anthony sells 4 more cranberries. Gennaro has a proposal. "I'm putting together a crew to rob casinos. You interested?" Anthony laughs. "I already did," he says, admitting to an undercover cop that he robbed the Bellagio. It's all on tape now. February 6th, 2011. Anthony is staying at the Bellagio again. Room comped, living like a high roller in the hotel he robbed weeks ago. Police execute the arrest. Anthony surrenders without resistance. They also search his girlfriend's apartment, his father's house, looking for chips. Police recover chips everywhere, different denominations. The total recovered, approximately $900,000 worth, but $793,000 is still missing, gambled away, or hidden. Anthony is charged with robbery with a deadly weapon, burglary with a deadly weapon, assault with a deadly weapon. Drugs are found but later dropped. Anthony's father, Judge George Assad, releases a statement. Devastated and heartbroken. He adds, "People who break the law need to be held accountable." The story makes international headlines. Security footage goes viral. A real-life Ocean's 11. Except this one got caught in just 50 days. The connection to the Suncoast robbery is confirmed. Same motorcycle, same helmet, same method. Anthony is charged with that heist too. April 21st, 2011. Anthony pleads not guilty. Trial is set for January 2012. He's held on $1 million bail at Clark County Detention Center, but Anthony's lawyer knows the evidence is overwhelming. Photos, emails, recorded admissions, selling chips to cops. There's no defense here. June 2011. Anthony changes his plea. Guilty. Part of a deal with prosecutors. 8 other felony charges dropped in exchange for his confession. August 23, 2011. Sentencing day for the Bellagio heist. District Judge Michelle Levitt presides. Anthony apologizes. "I'm extremely sorry for everything I've done." His lawyer explains. Drug addiction. Gambling addiction, a downward spiral. "This was a good kid who went wrong," he argues. Judge Levitt sentences Anthony to 3 to 11 years in prison for the Bellagio robbery. Eligible for parole in March 2013. Credit for time served. Some call the sentence too lenient. "It makes light of violence on the Strip," says UNLV professor Bill Thompson. Maximum was 12 to 30 years. August 25th, 2011, 2 days later. Sentencing for the Suncoast robbery. Different judge, Michael Villani. He's not as merciful. Villani sentences Anthony to 6 to 16 years. And here's the critical part. Consecutive to the Bellagio sentence, not concurrent. That means they stack. Total sentence, 9 to 27 years in Nevada Department of Corrections. Anthony could be released as early as 2020. Or as late as 2038. "I'm not a lost cause," Anthony tells the judge. "I can turn my life around." His parents attend the hearing. His father, the judge, says nothing. The matter of restitution is complicated. Anthony gambled away roughly $300,000 at the Bellagio using stolen chips. Should he pay that back? His lawyer argues the cranberries are now worthless. The Bellagio discontinued them, but prosecutors say Anthony got real value by gambling with them. The court ultimately orders $18,745 restitution for Suncoast. The Bellagio restitution amount is referred back to Judge Levitt for future determination. Anthony is sent to Lovelock Correctional Center, the same prison that houses O.J. Simpson. He begins serving his sentence. No more high roller suites now. In June 2011, George Assad loses his re-election bid for municipal judge after 9 years on the bench. His son's case may have played a role, but in a twist, years later in January 2023, George Assad is appointed to the Nevada Gaming Control Board, overseeing casino regulations. The man whose son robbed the Bellagio now helps regulate the industry his son tried to steal from. Life has a strange sense of irony. As for Anthony Carleo, records show he was held at Lovelock Correctional Center. His release date remains unclear from public records. The Bellagio Heist became legend in Las Vegas. The biker bandit who robbed the house and then moved into it. Gambling with stolen chips. Security footage of the helmet-wearing robber has been viewed millions of times. A Hollywood heist in real life. Except Hollywood endings are fictional. The lesson: casino chips aren't money. They're traceable, limited, and casinos can make them worthless overnight. Anthony learned this too late. His downfall wasn't the heist, it was the arrogance. Posting online, using a username referencing the stolen chips, admitting to undercover cops. "You're a fucking idiot," Anthony told himself in front of that safety deposit box. He was right, but by then it was too late. The Suncoast robbery netted $18,945. The Bellagio heist, $1.5 million. Total prison time, potentially 27 years. That's $56,000 per year of freedom lost. Anthony traded his future for a 50-day high, from medical school dreams to a prison cell, from a judge's son to a convicted felon. Addiction destroyed him. Cocaine, OxyContin, gambling. The robberies were just symptoms of a deeper problem, a life spiraling out of control. Today, the Bellagio stands as it always has, glittering, iconic. The fountain still dances outside. Inside, the craps tables are full. Life goes on. And the story of the biker bandit ends here. A warning about greed, about addiction, about the illusion that you can beat the house. You can't.